they're growing up in a world where reality TV is pretty normal. You look at The Real World, that was first aired in 1993. You look at Survivor, that was first aired in 2000. They grew up in a TV culture where looking at reality or seeing things that are not so scripted and not so consultant driven is the real thing. And so I think when you translate that into the political world, any campaign that's more open and more direct and more honest, or at least lets you in the insides to get to know the candidate personally, is going to have a better engagement and a better I think penetration with young voters because they look at that as genuine. I think that personality factor for a lot of us in the political world is overlooked because we're so motivated by issues. But with the Scott Brown campaign and how we used online video to create a personal connection and develop a personal likability, that's very, very powerful for people, not just young voters, for all types of voters. I wrote a memo to the state legislators, the Republican state legislators currently in the State House, and it encouraged them to get on Facebook and how to use it, not just to update your status with political information, but to update your status with personal information. Start building a relationship and a connection with people. So when Scott called me up in the summer, the last summer, and said, I'm thinking about running for Senate, and he launched his campaign on his 50th birthday on September 12th, Scott already had a wealth of contacts and connections in Facebook, and because he started so early, that was primarily just young voters, young people in the network at that time. I mean, now the fastest growing demographic on Facebook is people above the age of 55. But Scott was able to cultivate, especially through the College Republican Network, that was very active on Facebook, a real group of supporters.
You know, if you think about who the consultants are, who the pollsters are, who the media consultants are, us operatives, as we think of ourselves, sadly, not a positive term. You know, we're not 22, and we didn't grow up the way you grow up. We really let young people develop the programs to communicate with young people. It's really important for us to not have, you know, people in their 40s and 50s trying to figure out how to communicate with young voters, but young voters trying to figure out how to communicate with young voters.